Vince will be giving a speech today titled The Porpoise-Driven Life. The Porpoise-Driven Life. Vince Grant.
And thank you, Toastmasters. I do apologize for the way I look. Generally, when you have a prepared speech, you make sure that your hair is done properly and you're wearing the nicest clothes, as you can see by our... Oh, never mind. I guess I'm okay. There is one thing that I have learned in my time is, as a professional, no matter what the circumstances are, you should always put your best foot forward and give the very best job you possibly can under any circumstances. And that is what I'm going to do. And in closing, I'd like to say, what do you want to be when you grow up? That is a tough question for anyone, at any time. But you always get it when you're a little tiny person. When you don't know what you want to do, a little tiny person, what do they have? What do you want to be when you grow up? Taller. I want to have people listen to me. I want to be something. As many of you know, I was born, because I've told you this before, I was born the first one in a very, very small Irish Catholic family, only 7 kids. And my parents were both, well, my father graduated top in his class, #1 in his class at Georgetown Medical School. My mother graduated first in her class at Yale Nursing School. So basically, the question, what do I want to be, was predetermined for me. I was to be an underachiever. Mission accomplished. Literally, when I was a little kid, people would ask me what I want to be. I never said, I want to be a cowboy, or I want to be a fireman, like a lot of little kids think. And oddly enough, when I was sitting back there writing this out, I was thinking, isn't that interesting? Cowboy and fireman, 2 gay icons. But I never wanted to be either one of those. Actually, it's funny, when I was 6 years old, I have a vivid memory of somebody saying, what do you want to be? And I said, I want to be a comedian. And the reason I had said that is because I grew up when I was a young child listening to lots of Bob Newhart and Bill Cosby and George Carlin and things like that. And really, that is something that I wanted to be. I had no idea how to accomplish that, no idea that maybe you couldn't accomplish that. Maybe those people were born that way and already had that job when they were born. I didn't know. But that was something that I wanted to do when I was 6 years old. And as a childhood dream, of course, it kind of just drifted off. And I went to school, as some of you probably know from my icebreaker, when I was in high school I took chemistry. No, wait, that's chemicals. And basically I didn't get that much support when I was growing up, when I was a kid. My parents didn't really support much of what I did. They were kind of hands-off in the child-rearing sector, and they weren't the supportive family that many of you may have grown up with, or many of you didn't grow up with. But all I can talk from is my growth. When I had certain things that I really enjoyed doing, I enjoyed being an artist. I enjoyed drawing and painting and things like that, and I really got much support in that when I went off to college. I wanted to study art, but of course you can't make money studying art, so my parents wouldn't support me doing that. I took a slightly different route, and I took architecture. Actually, at the time, the architecture school at CU had turned into the School of Environmental Design. So that was the curriculum I followed for 4 years. And I did learn a lot, and I taught myself a lot, which basically is what college is about. You do teach yourself things that you are interested in. So I got many, many things out of that. I got a job right out of college as a ski bum. It didn't pay well, but by golly, I loved it. It was a great job. And I almost starved, and I got very, very skinny. I know that's hard to picture, but close your eyes. I was really skinny. But I lived in Summit County for a long time and skied everywhere, skied every day, skied my brains out, and had a wonderful time. Then went into the real world. I worked as a land planning consultant and landscape architect for a long time. And about that time, I realized that there was a place in town that was actually offering open mic night. So I went down and I started going on stage. And I realized after about 2 years of spending every night after work down at these clubs and doing this thing, that there was actually a path to actually make money doing comedy. And I did that for many, many years. For 25 years, I was on the road as a comedian by avocation and as an alcoholic by training. And it is what I did. And that kind of disappeared. That after a while, that kind of fell apart. After 9/11, things fell apart. I decided to go back into the real world. People didn't want to hire a 50-year-old that had been out of the job market for 25 years. So I worked in that business, which really I didn't fit into for about 10 years, and finally was laid off. And basically, I'm back to the point, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I'm going to take all of my skills and all of my training and everything I learned over all that, my art, my speaking, my being able to make people laugh, my skiing, my alcoholism. Take all of that fun stuff and put it together into a big group and actually speak to people about those kind of things. Because really, 6-year-old saying you want to be a comedian, follow your bliss. Even if you don't have the support of your family or the support of your peers, do what it is that you really want to do. And everything in life is training for what you want to do. Good, bad, indifferent, everything. Put that away into your file, into your vault, and save it. And then when you really decide what you want to do, oh boy, you will be the very best you can possibly be. Thank you so much, you guys.